Researchers have found some really interesting facts about the woman's brain. Here are 10 things you probably didn't know. Number 1. Women are intuitive. Men can have the uncomfortable feeling that women are mind readers. Over the course of evolution, women may have been selected for their ability to keep young preverbal humans alive, which involves deducting what an infant or child needs, like warmth, food, discipline, and so on, without it being directly communicated. This is one explanation for why women consistently score higher than men on tests that require reading nonverbal cues. Women not only better remember the physical appearance of others, but also more correctly identify the unspoken messages conveyed in facial expressions, postures, and tones of voice. Number 2. The female body has a lower resistance to alcohol. Believe it or not, but alcohol is even more dangerous for women as they are more prone to liver disease like hepatitis, which is an inflammation of the liver, and are more likely to die from liver cirrhosis, a chronic disease. It is also more likely that women will suffer brain damage from alcohol, like loss of mental functions and reduced brain size. Number 3. She changes every day based on her cycle. Women are affected by their cycles every day of the month. Hormone levels are constantly changing in a woman's brain and body, changing her outlook, energy and sensitivity along with them. About 10 days after the onset of menstruation, right before ovulation, women often feel sassier, they dress sexier as surges in estrogen and testosterone prompt them to look for sexual opportunities during this particularly fertile period. A week later, there is a rise in progesterone, the hormone that mimics Valium, making women feel like cuddling up with a hot cup of tea and a good book. The following week, progesterone withdrawal can make women weepy and easily irritated. For most women, their mood reaches its worst 12-24 hours before their period starts. Number 4. Women avoid aggression. Stressful situations are known to spur the fight or flight response in men, but researchers have suggested that women, after sensing a threat, instinctually try to tend or befriend. That is, they skirt physical responses in favor of forming strategic, even manipulated alliances. Anne Campbell of Durham University says that women may have evolved to avoid physical aggression because of the greater dependence of children on their survival. In ancient hunter-gatherer days, men only needed to do the deed to spread their genes, while women had to stay alive long enough to birth and raise the young. Number 5. She responds to pain and anxiety differently. Brain imaging studies over the last 10 years have shown that male and female brains respond differently to pain and fear, and women's brains may be the more sensitive of the two. The female brain is not only more responsive to small amounts of stress, but is less able to habituate to high levels of stress, said Deborah Bangasser of the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, describing her recent research looking at molecular changes in the brain. Number 6. Women are affected by pregnant brain. Progesterone is a great sleeping pill. A study suggests that progesterone increases 30-fold in the first 8 weeks of pregnancy, causing most women to become very sedated. A woman's brain also shrinks during pregnancy, becoming about 4% smaller by the time she delivers, according to a 2002 study published in the American Journal of Neuroradiology. Don't worry, it returns to normal size by 6 months after delivery. Number 7. Women go through adolescence twice. No one wants to go through adolescence again. Its physical changes and hormonal fluctuations not only create mood swings and physical discomfort, but nagging questions about self-identity as well. Women, however, lucky girls, get to do just that. They go through a second adolescence called perimenopause in their 40s. It starts around age 43 and reaches its pinnacle by 47 or 48 years old. Men's hormones also change as they age, but not nearly as abruptly. In addition to erratic periods and night sweats, a woman's hormones during this transition are so crazed she can be as moody as a teenager. The duration of perimenopause varies from 2 to 9 years, with most women leaving it behind by age 52. Number 8. She loves risk during the mature years. A study suggests that once the change has finished and the body moves into its advanced stage, the female brain gets a second wind. While men start to show increased interest in relationships as they age, the mature woman becomes ready to risk conflict, especially if her nest is now empty. She may continue to feel motivated to help others, but her focus might shift from her immediate family to local and global communities. She may also also feel a strong desire to do more for herself after decades of caretaking. Number 9. Women are better at tying up information. Some recent studies have indicated that while women's brains are smaller than men's, they may use their brains more efficiently than men because their neural pathways are more connected than men's. The brain is essentially a network. You can think of it as connected wires that form a web or a net, which is sometimes why you hear people talking about neural nets in reference to brain function. Studies have found that the networks in women's brains are more connected than the networks in men's brains. It's not that there's more wiring going on in there, it's just that the wires are more connected to each other. This increased connectivity means that women process information differently than men, whose brains show less connectivity. Number 10. She hates conflicts but lack of response even more. Women may also have evolved extra sensitivity to interpersonal cues as a way to avoid conflict, a state that can feel intolerable to women, says neuropsychiatrist Dr. Luan Brizendine. The flood of chemicals that takes over the female brain during a conflict, especially within an intimate relationship, is almost on the same order as a seizure. Possibly because of their overachievement in mind reading, women often find blank expressions or a lack of response completely unbearable. A young girl will go to great lengths trying to get a response from a mime, while a boy will not be nearly so determined. For females in particular, a negative response may be better than no response at all. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, be sure to subscribe.